right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Hunger, filth, and neglect.
The toilet wasn't working. It was just feces, urine, throw up.
Tonight, a former detainee exposes the inhumane conditions inside the City Justice Center.
Weather impact alert days for Tuesday and Wednesday as a couple of wintry weather makers head east. The updated timeline on when the flakes fly.
Our top story, a child sex trafficking investigation in St. Louis expands. Tonight, the search for more victims.
We're asking the public's assistance in bringing the kids forward.
Neighbors say they saw several young girls coming in and out of Kieron Williams' apartment. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend was the first to report on the arrest of the prime suspect last night and joined us now with new developments. Robert.
Mike and Kelly, police call Kieron Williams a sexual predator. Now, I talked to one of his neighbors who's stunned to hear Williams allegedly coerced 2 girls to run away and gave them money for sex.
He was quiet. He never really said anything. He was to himself.
She's talking about her neighbor, Kieron Williams, the 29-year-old St. Louis man now charged with several crimes, including sex trafficking of a child and statutory rape. The neighbor didn't want us to show her face or reveal her name.
I feel scared to know that I was living here with somebody that was doing things like that. That's outrageous.
These 2 girls were reported missing runaways.
On Monday, Ferguson detectives tracked one of the girls' cell phone and found both teens inside Williams' apartment on Pershing Avenue, north of Forest Park. That's when officers also arrested Williams. The victim, missing from Ferguson, is now 15 years old. The second girl, now 16, was missing from St. Louis for a year.
We're not sure exactly how he was meeting them, but when he did, it was all social media.
Police call the 2 girls acquaintances.
This person paid for sexual favors all the way up to $500 for one of the girls, $200 for another one. It's a real sexual predator.
Williams' neighbor says he lived on the 4th floor of this apartment building for the past year.
He had a lot of girls coming in and out. I don't know their ages. They did appear to be young.
Again, investigators say there could be at least 10 additional victims, including 3 adults.
So far, it's been all young females. We're asking the public's assistance in bringing the kids forward.
Now, the Missouri Coalition Against Trafficking and Exploitation says there are some warning signs parents can look for, including if your child has new clothes or technology that you didn't buy, any brandings or tattoos, and new friends they meet online who are not age appropriate. Police ask anyone who may have been victimized by Kieron Williams to call Ferguson Police at 314-522-3100.
Well, it's a cold and clear night. The rain will move back in about 24 hours. However, all eyes are on winter's return to St. Louis. Just hours ago, the Weather Impact Team issued alert days for next week.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell's here to tell us the potential impacts prompting that alert now, Scott.
Well, it's all going to be about travel, right? We expect colder air to come in over the weekend, and so Tuesday and Wednesday, we mix that colder air with some moisture, and we end up getting some snow in St. Louis, especially late Monday night into Tuesday morning. The accumulation is not going to be anything like what we saw at the beginning of January. This doesn't look like the French toast kind of storm. But it is going to impact us. It's going to slow us down, especially south and southwest of St. Louis early on Tuesday. Wednesday, there's a second component to this. So the transition really starts Saturday with some rain. Then we get into the colder air on Sunday, and that'll set the stage for Monday night late into early Tuesday. So the first wave comes in, mainly snow. We're expecting light accumulations. First guess would be around an inch or so. That's not a lot. Round 2, snow or mix. That develops on Wednesday. We do expect the travel impacts and some slick spots. That's why we did the weather impact alert for Tuesday and Wednesday, just to give you a heads up. It's not going to be a huge storm, but one that we'll track. Temperatures have dropped back into the 30s as the skies have cleared. And overnight tonight, we'll drop back to about 28, 29 degrees and be close to 30 out the door early tomorrow morning. We'll catch you in a few minutes with more details.
Tonight, we got our first look at MoDOT's plans for the Improve I-70 I-70 project. Construction will kick into high gear in 2 months with simultaneous construction on 70, I-64, and Highway 61. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski talks with drivers and business owners about their concerns.
Drivers from Warrenton to O'Fallon are in for some big changes as the Improve I-70 project ramps up and crews hit the pavement.
This will be our largest single project MoDOT's ever done, $600 million. So to complete this in 4 years without disrupting traffic a ton, we're going to hit this with a pretty aggressive schedule.
MoDOT's main goal is to add a third lane to all sections of I-70 across the state, all while making improvements to several other interchanges and ramps. While that's happening, crews are also adding a third lane to I-64 from Highway K to 70. Patrick Flanagan hopes all this work will alleviate constant congestion.
The railroad crossing is a bottleneck. It slows everything down with two major interstates colliding together.
The I-70, 64, and 61 interchange is the one he's talking about. It's been the site of many crashes and is a major safety concern.
So as people start to slow down, there's that crash that occurs that's a result of that. We're going to be able to fix some of that. We're also adding some technology in that area, some message boards, some advance notice.
See all these people crowded around this one particular board? That's because they're all worried about this section of the I-70 improvement project. It's going to close off access to a lot of businesses. One business owner tells me it could be detrimental if her customers can't get to them.
Highway Z and Church Street, right now they just told us it was going to be a 90-day shutdown. So as a business owner, not quite sure how we're going to maneuver 90 days.
The St. Charles County Chamber of Commerce is hoping to help people just like Linda Steyer, who owns LB's General Store in Wentzville.
Maybe we can get them some signs, something like that, to tell their customers, hey, this is how you get to us, so we can reroute traffic in some ways, because it's going to be a headache for some customers.
Reporting in Wentzville, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
If you couldn't make it to submit a comment, no worries. You can do it online. MoDOT will be accepting public comment for a month. We have all the details on KSDK.com.
The mother of the teen robbery suspect who escaped juvenile custody last month is now charged with helping his escape. The 17-year-old ran barefooted into Forest Park from the Central West End during last month's winter storm. He was being transported for medical treatment at the time for what police called a self-inflicted injury. Investigators say a review of jail communications revealed the mother and son plotted the getaway. Police found the teen 11 days later at a home in South St. Louis. A former Jefferson County Sheriff's deputy will serve 2 years probation for the deadly drunk driving crash that killed his wife. Corey McCreary pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor DWI charge. Today, a judge handed down a suspended sentence. Savannah McCreary died in the April 2023 crash on I-55 in Festus.
New details tonight about the arrest of a man accused of holding a Mizzou student against her will inside a sorority house. Jeffrey Whelan was in court today to face kidnapping, burglary, and assault charges. Police say he forced his way into the Sigma Kappa house Tuesday night, grabbed knives from the kitchen, and barricaded himself in a room with a sorority member. Another student says she came face to face with Whelan outside just minutes before.
From my right side, a man came running like full force at me. We watched him run over to the Tried-Out house and try to open their door and stuff, and then he kept running down like towards Burnham Avenue, and that's when I called 911.
No students were physically hurt. Whelan's being held without bond.
Tonight, St. Louis County's new top prosecutor got better acquainted with the community she serves.
She's been on the job less than a month. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon joins us with the message from the woman who replaced Wesley Bell.
Well, tonight, Melissa Price Smith told a curious crowd she's learned a lot from her nearly 2 decades in the prosecutor's office. And while some things will stay the same, it's clear she's ushering in a new direction. Here at the new North St. Louis County Police Precinct, a gathering of the minds. Neighbors getting a first-hand account on tackling crime from the first ever female circuit attorney in the county.
We have to get the guns off the streets. We have to.
Melissa Price Smith getting to know a crowd eager to hear just where she stands.
We are going to have a stronger office in terms of guns. We can't complain about gun violence and then still give probation after probation on gun cases. We have to get them off the street to keep our communities safer.
Councilwoman Shalonda Webb organized the forum.
And I want to make sure that she knows us by name and she knows us by our commitment to our community.
On day one, the afternoon I got sworn in, we reinstated our violent crime unit.
Price Smith says gone are the days of waiting to prosecute criminals accused of big crimes. Instead, her team of 55 attorneys are on notice to get to work as soon as they strike.
That's when they have to be reviewed, not when these offenders can then commit 3 more carjackings, 2 more robberies, and then finally a prosecutor starts reviewing it 6 months later. Violent crime cases cannot sit and collect dust and be reviewed 6 months later. They have to be reviewed in real time so those offenders can be taken off the streets. And I assure you that is happening now.
And in a lighthearted moment,
I'd like you all to get out your phones.
a surprise to prove she's serious about building relationships.
I want you to have my number.
She was sure.
314.
And the crowd followed orders.
Call me. I'm not afraid.
Price Smith advised she also launched a unit to focus specifically on homicides. And this week, we've learned the state auditor is auditing the spending practices of the prosecutor's office prior to Price Smith coming in. County Council made that request.
And lock up your guns was the message St. Louis County Police have for gun owners after a string of tragic shootings involving kids. 2 children have died from firearms so far this year. 2 others have been injured.
It's a serious issue. We want to make sure that you are safe. And the first thing and last thing you can do is to ensure that you have it locked, you have it put away, you separate that firearm with those magazine rounds to ensure that you don't have to suffer the loss of any of your loved ones.
To learn about the different types of gun storage and where to get a free gun lock in the St. Louis area, all you have to do is text the word LOCKS to 314-425-5355.
Tonight, a former detainee's deplorable details about life inside the City Justice Center.
Literally, you got to step over other people's bodies to find a spot on the floor.
The critical need at the top of the new jail commissioner's to-do list. A Metro East mystery solved. The dangerous piece of history unearthed in a booming part of town.
The timing on rain chances as we head into the weekend and when that colder air arrives. The cold is key to the weather impact alert days Tuesday and Wednesday. We're tracking those impacts in 7 minutes.
It was exactly 4 years ago today that detainees broke out of their cells and busted windows at the St. Louis City Justice Center. That uprising drew attention to the deplorable conditions plaguing the jail. More unrest erupted just 2 months later. Many of those same problems still exist today.
Tonight, our I-Team hears from a former detainee who exposes the inhumane conditions he and others endured at the CJC. 5 on your side's Paula Vassan talks to the interim jail commissioner who's been on the job for just a week about the critical need that must be addressed first.
You got one toilet, it might be 10, 15 guys all stuffed in here.
Just 2 months ago, 34-year-old Stacy Strozier walked out of the St. Louis City Justice Center.
Man, a lot been going on with this jail.
A place he says was nothing short of inhumane.
The toilet wasn't working. It was just feces, urine, throw up, stuck in this toilet. Finally, they opened the door. We gotta get in the doorway, like y'all not closing this door till we get a plunger. And so we have to do the most just for the bare minimum.
Now free, he pursues his hobbies to forget the trauma. Strozier describes an existence of hunger, filth, and neglect. But one moment still haunts him.
And I was in there with a guy. He was on a colostomy bag. And me and 3 other guys got the kicking on the door. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, man, y'all got to change his bag, man. Finally, they come in there.
This isn't just his story. Strozier and 74 other detainees weighed in as part of a review done by the jail's new commissioner, Doug Burris. And now their reality is in black and white. This new report exposes severe failures. Among its most disturbing findings, a critical lack of staffing. Only 74 of 198 officer positions are filled. That means only 37% of staff positions are filled to address detainees' needs, like fixing clogged toilets.
And they brush it off. And so eventually people finally get frustrated.
Addressing medical problems.
He's bleeding from his head and his face. His arm looked like it's broke.
And dealing with overcrowding in the intake area.
So you're stuck in this little pen, right, with a bunch of other guys. Literally, you got to step over other people's bodies to find a spot on the floor.
We need more help, meaning more correctional officers.
Jail Commissioner Burris aims to quickly fill vacancies by partnering with a new recruiting vendor. Meanwhile, the city is conducting a pay study that could lead to salary increases for jail staff.
Because a lot of the programming and educational groups we want to bring in, we can't do unless we have correctional officers to help move the people around and keep the facility safe. So that's our primary goal.
In his previous role running the St. Louis County Jail, Burris also cut use of force by 70% and brought college courses to people behind bars. He says he wants to do the same here.
We've got change to make, there's no doubt about it. My goal is to ensure that everyone in this facility, staff and detainees, and anyone that visits is treated with respect and dignity.
Something that right now appears to be lacking. That mess Strozier told us about earlier.
So they changed the bag and put him right back in there with feces all on his clothes and all this on the floor. We're like, hey man, y'all ain't gonna clean up? Y'all ain't gonna give us something to clean up with? Gave us some dry toilet paper to wipe it up with. I don't know what they gotta do to hire some more people. I mean, good COs maybe should get paid more. You know what I'm saying? But evaluate these people, because staff is 85% of the problem.
The commissioner tells me correctional officer shortages are part of a nationwide issue driven by low wages and stressful conditions. Another major concern highlighted in his report: inadequate medical care. If you know a detainee at the CJC who hasn't received necessary treatment, reach out to me at paula@ksdk.com. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Fire in the hole!
We now know what caused a loud boom heard around O'Fallon, Illinois last night. Police posted the video today of a controlled detonation of a World War II era artillery shell. Utility crews unearthed it while digging for a sewer line near a Walmart. Military officials are working to find out where it came from.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with the weather impact forecast, and we're talking about the possibility of snow next week.
Keeps coming back, huh?
Yes, we're not done with winter yet, or maybe winter's just not done with us yet. I think some of us would be done with it if we had the option. Weather impact alert days here for Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not going to be a huge winter storm for us, but it is going to cause some impacts. It's not going to be like the beginning of January, but we will look at some snow accumulation here as we go into Tuesday morning. And then again, we have another phase of this system sliding in towards Wednesday. So it's Tuesday to Wednesday. Really, you could make a case for starting this Monday night. We have measurable precipitation with temperatures below freezing. The impacts basically to travel. So we actually have 3 systems we can track tonight for you. One's coming onshore in California right now. That's the one that comes in here for the weekend, first part of it. And then you have a couple more systems lining up out here in the Pacific. Badly needed rain across central and southern California too, although some of it's been a little heavier farther to the north, and they've had tremendous mountain snows. We had the showers trying to develop over southeast Missouri, southern Illinois. So some of you saw a few raindrops this afternoon before they pushed on out of the area. Our temperatures, well, here we are tomorrow evening. Tomorrow, it's basically just clouds increasing, and we should still be dry around 6 o'clock. But as we head through the evening hours, 9, 10 o'clock, we start to see the scattered areas of rain developing, maybe some drizzle in here, all above freezing going into early Saturday morning, but the showers become more numerous. Our prime time to get some rain here on Saturday will be during the morning hours, and then as we head towards lunchtime, we climb back into the lower 40s in St. Louis, near 50 farther south, and then by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, most of the rain moves out. That allows the cold air to come in. Now we're setting the stage for what happens here on Monday night late and into Tuesday. We expect snow to break out across our region, generally on the light side, but overnight it's going to put down a coating, maybe 2 or 3 inches farther south and southwest of St. Louis, maybe more. That's just the initial impacts that we see. It slides out, this first wave does, early on Wednesday, and then we'll have another batch for Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Quiet at Lambert right now. Think they'll be okay tomorrow for flight travel, and certainly Saturday into Sunday. It's not, it's just some rain then. We'll have to worry about the winter weather as we head towards Monday night. It is 34 degrees right now. 44 was our high. We're dropping to around 30 tonight in most spots. Clouds, well, they've already moved out, and we should stay mainly clear overnight. Then tomorrow, we reverse that process, roll the clouds back in, get back into the lower 40s for highs tomorrow. And then as we head into the weekend, there's your rain chances on Saturday. Sunday's dry, but not necessarily bright. But notice we're only in the 30s for highs. Sunday, Monday, and then low to mid-30s as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are our weather impact alert days for travel problems due to the wintry mix or snow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Here's Corey with sports.
Well, it was a big night for a St. Louisan against his hometown Blues. We waited once again to see if Torrey Holt finally made the Hall of Fame, and Alton High School is playing some serious basketball this season. Sports is up after the break.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Onder Law Injury Attorneys.
The playoff dream isn't officially dead for the Blues, but with every loss, it feels just a little bit further away. The final team standing in last year's playoffs came to town tonight, and the Florida Panthers had no intention of helping out the Blues' playoff chances. First, a history lesson. December 20th in Florida, Sam Bennett makes a dirty hit on Jake Neighbors' head. So tonight, Neighbors takes the opening faceoff against Bennett, and he wanted some revenge. They drop the mitts and go at it. Good on Jake sticking up for himself. Blues struck first tonight on the scoreboard. Zach Bolduc's going to light the lamp for the first time since December 27th. 1-0 note. 1-1 at this point when Joel Hofer makes the save of the night. Oh, man. I tell you what, this hurts just looking at it. I don't know how those goalies do it. What a save. Panthers on the power play now. Matthew Tkachuk is back home. You know he's going to score. Mom Chantal sure loves it up in the suite. 2-1 Florida. Blues tied it up in the second, but with 12 seconds left in the third, disaster strikes. And guess who gets the goal? Tkachuk on the doorstep tips it in for the game winner with almost no time left. Panthers win 3-2. Coach, what did you see on that last play?
You know, it's easy for me to say in heat of the moment, but, you know, you always want to get skin on the guy that's shooting the puck so that he can't get another opportunity to rebound, usually at the net. So, anyways, that's what I saw on that play.
For 11 years, I've been waiting to see my favorite football player of all time enter the Hall of Fame. He's always been deserving, but has always been on the outside looking in. It turns out Torrey Holt will have to wait even longer. Big Game was once again snubbed from a bust in Canton. There was a bit of a St. Louis flair tonight at the NFL Honors. John Hamm and Nikki Glazer presented, but when the moment came, Torrey Holt fell short again. Jared Allen, Eric Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp were elected to the Hall of Fame. And oh yeah, Sharp played 7 years in the league total, while Holt had 8 straight years of 1,000 receiving yards. What a joke. Tomorrow is high school basketball's night to shine, and no school has shined brighter this season than Alton. It's already a basketball crazy town along the river, but this year's Redbirds have the community truly fired up. The boys and girls programs are a combined 42-7 this season. The girls in a tremendous senior class have set the standard for greatness. Now the boys are following their lead.
They've kind of laid the blueprint and showed people if you stay together and you work hard, you know, you take your ups and your downs and you just trust the process, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's a great time, man. I mean, it's a basketball community. It's no disrespect to any other sport. It's what people do here, right? I mean, these kids play year round. The girls play year round. So to see both teams having the success that they have, it's just really, really cool. It's really cool for our school. It's really cool for our students, our community, and they support it, man. Like I said, I mean, there's 2,600 people in the crowd every night.
High school hoops tonight. Valley Park's Will Geary is already the leading scorer in Misha soccer history. He also has over 2,000 points on the basketball court. His Hawks took on Brentwood tonight. Geary kicks things off. Nice lefty finish. Brentwood able to keep possession here. They get it to Brockton Springer. He's going to drill a triple from the corner. Let's go Valley Park back the other way. Geary, the dish to Clark Menley for the bucket. Valley Park gets the win, 67-63. Hey, guess what? The Cardinals have finally spent some money this offseason. Don't jump out of your seat just yet, though. The team acquired utility man Michael Hellman from the Twins for cash considerations today. Cash considerations always getting traded. The 28-year-old hit 300 and just 10 at-bats for Minnesota last season. We were talking, my conspiracy theory, if St. Louis still had a team, Torrey Holt would be in the Hall of Fame.
He definitely deserves it.
Crazy.
Like you said, his stats are so much better than Sterling Sharp.
I just don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
I know you're verklempt about it. Jason Bateman is preparing for another Missouri-based role, the member of the 5 on Your Side team who could have an impact on his performance. The guy who played Marty Bird on Ozark will star in another series set here in Missouri.
And I guess Scott could be his on-set consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to figure out my look. You know, I'm playing this St. Louis weatherman, and
I think you got it. I think you got it too. Yeah.
No, hey, don't be
your
hurtful.
Default.
Hey, no, I have got to.
Tell us what it's like outside today.
Like, it's going to be a mustache and maybe parting the hair, but I need some glasses, but I don't want to get too Anchorman.
That's actor-director Jason Bateman talking about his latest role this week on his Smartless podcast that he does with Sean Hayes and Will Arnett. He didn't mention the project by name, but we do know he's set to star in a limited HBO series based in St. Louis. So, Scott, they might be knocking on your door for some advice on how to be a St. Louis
Great
weatherman.
consultant.
I think most of us are pretty laid back here, but maybe he's coming for the snow.
No mustache.
Yeah, no, I'd like his hair, though.
Yeah, you part your hair.
Yes, I did. It parted ways with me. All right, we have our weather impact alert for Tuesday and Wednesday. We will get some snow. It won't be a huge storm.
And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m.